All right, we're here at the Sea Ray booth at the Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show, and we're gonna check out this SLX 400. It's a really cool boat, got some cool stuff going on. A couple changes from the previous years on it. The first starts off here at the back with these Mercury Verado engines. We'll get more into that here in a second. Just wanna kind of show off this swim pad, swim deck, and just the aft sun lounge area here. So we're gonna step on board here. This guy here, set up in this configuration right now, where it gives you a sun pad facing that way and it extends out onto the swim terrace there. So I think that just really opens up the space and gives you a great area compared to what you might expect normally when you give up a rear swim platform with the outboards on the back. So we'll just step over there real quick. So you can see that platform there. We can step out here. We are now hanging out beside the boat, so I think that's really cool. We'll just take a quick look here through the cabin. Wow, that's a cockpit, but I'll get more into that in a moment. And this guy here, we can actually come over, grab the handle here, swing this around, and your seating is now more traditional with the sun pad on the back and that facing forward. And spend a moment here talking about these twin Mercury Verado 600s. You used to have the triple 400 or 450s depending on the option you went with, but the difference with these, and a couple differences. First, you're gonna save a lot on fuel compared to the trips, so that's nice. And these are actually really clean setup here with just two hoses heading into them with the wiring and whatnot, hydraulics, so that's really cool. And as you can see, they do just pivot there just for the trim up and down that way. And that is because it is now the lower end of them that does that and swivels and allows for docking. So we're gonna step around the side here and see if we can see that. And I think, yeah, if you see in the water there, you can see how that is canted to the side. The lower units can actually go up to 45 degrees, and they are dual prop, so that gives you a lot of low speed docking maneuverability with the joystick controls, unlike the if my camera wants to cooperate, there it is. On the triple 300s, like on the 370 Sundancer on that side, you're limited to only 30 degrees of movement, and they're just individual props. So really cool. You save fuel, you get more maneuverability. These twin Verado 600s are just a really nice upgrade, and you get a little upgrade at the helm as well that we'll get into here in just a moment. And this boat is equipped with a Seakeeper stabilizer, and that hides out under here. So we'll go ahead and check that out here in a moment. Just waiting on some folks to walk past. But up in here, you can see this retractable sunshade, so that's really nice. And then up under there is another sunshade that retracts as well. There's a couple latches, you pull it back and it does its thing. So yeah, it's pretty nifty use of the space. Hanging out here on the galley is a couple options. We can come over here and get a better look at it. There's the twin freezer fridge setup, so you can get grills on top. You can kind of customize it how you want. Fusion audio hanging out there, and our switch that I can show you into the area where the Seakeeper hangs out, and a couple other things. So if we just hold that button down there, we'll spin this way, and that hatch area just opens up like that. Go through. So yeah, we'll call it good there. You can see the Seakeeper 3 hanging out down there. Your battery bank's back there, and the bilge is huge, clean, wide open, really easy to get into if you need to for some reason, because you don't have that inboard outboard setup going on there. So I think it just really cleans it up having the outboards on the back. And like I said, the swim terrace on the side really just opens things up and gives you a lot of space that you'd normally lose by giving up the whole swim platform with the outboards on the back. So we'll close that up and head into the rest of the boat. All right, that guy's closed up, so we're gonna step on here, and we're gonna head up onto the helm right now, and I'm gonna show you a couple things going on there. I mentioned there were some changes to the propulsion controls that came with those Verados. First things here is your actual throttle setup. If you notice on most of them, they have the buttons on top. The buttons on top are gone. The buttons are now moved to the side. So what that does is if your hand is here, no worries. But if your hand was ever down here, you're going over some waves, you're holding on, you know, putting some weight on it, your hand was hitting a bunch of buttons. So that cleans that up. So those are moved there. And we now have an automotive style stop start button there. So you press once, starts them up, press it again, shuts them down just like your automobile. So that's pretty cool. And of course, there's your joystick control and a couple other things going on there with your trim tabs, which it has the auto trim obviously on this boat if you choose to do that versus manual. We'll turn around here. It's a dual SIMRAD display. It's kind of hard to see with the sun glare. There we go. But yeah, so dual SIMRADs. You can do all sorts of stuff from here. We'll set the lights to 100%. You can come in here. You can change the different zones and whatnot. Let's see. Oh, we're going to the chart plotter. Okay. We'll hop on this one. But right now, like, for instance, if I want to adjust the bow, the cockpit, exterior, all zones, you can do that there.
Does this turn?
Yeah. And then you can do, I'm not too familiar, but you can do it so you can, there's LED accents like that go under the cup holders there. And then if you look up here, it's kind of hard to see, but around this edge, there's LEDs there. There's LEDs everywhere. They're RGBW, so you get full color controls, and you get the white Kelvin scale controls. So that's awesome. We're gonna work around some people here in a moment, so I'm just gonna hang out and talk a little bit. But yeah, you can set them to party mode, so it can either sync to the music or it can just go through the colors, fading in and out. Got a fusion head unit there, so that's really cool. Here is our Seakeeper. Turn that on. The boat was rocking around a little bit, so literally that's all you do. You press that button, it's on. Now our angle's at 0, so there's nothing to it. This thing, there's 8 people on this boat, and it's not moving at all right now, so that's pretty cool. We'll wait for some folks to move out of the way here, and I will show off the bow area. All right, we are gonna head on up into the bow area here and show off a couple things. What's cool about this boat is the deck is all one level, one height throughout it. So there's no step, no ramp, nothing going on there. It's really cool. That little vent right there is a break, so any water coming from the bow gets caught in there. That's really cool. And this seating area up on the front is fantastic. I'm gonna step around here and show it off. You got this really cool stadium style seating on this side where I'm sitting now. You can use as a dinette, or you can fill it in with filler cushions, and then you'd have a big bow area, a big sun up in the bow, or like I said, your table would attach there and you have a small dinette area. I love this diamond cross hatch pattern going on that they got going through there. I think it gives a real high-end look. It was in a couple other places in the boat. And I'm a big fan of it. If you watched any of my other videos on any other brands, you'll notice how much I love it. It's kind of hard to see with the sun, but they got it going on the back of the seating up there as well. You got individual armrests here on those, so that's really cool. And then we'll get up into some technical stuff hanging out up in here real quick. Pop that open. There is your winch, so that's cool. Real easy access to that. Close that back up. Here is a wash off for it, so when you pull it up, you can rinse it off. And hiding up in the very front is the actual windlass access there, as well as your remote control hangs out there too. So we're gonna head back this way. And really cool feature, attention to the detail they've got on these. That crosshatch diamond pattern carries on even in the flooring, the mat on this boat. So it's really cool to see the attention to detail that Sea Ray puts into these boats. And I think it's kind of what helps set them apart from the rest. It's just really cool seeing how they do stuff like that. And this seat here does swivel around so you can face into the rear cockpit area and really bring it all together. So that's really cool to see that. There is this flip up, flip down bolster. It's actually pretty easy to do with one hand. So that's kind of something I always like to see on these boats. These ones, twin helm, each have their own bolster, so that's cool. So if someone wants to sit, someone wants to stand, you can do that there. They got this nice footrest there for while you're at the helm if you just want to kick your feet up there and do one of those numbers. And then these seats It's hard to do with one hand, but they are adjustable forward and backward a little bit, so that's a really nice feature. And I'll just show off the rear cockpit here a little bit as there's some folks finishing up down the cabin. More of that diamond hatching there. And like I said, they carry it on through the floor, so that's cool. There's some of the LED lights. Those are all RGBW, so that's really cool that they offer that. And they got cup holders all around this boat. Subwoofer hanging out there for Fusion audio. And looking up here, like I said, there's one of the latches. And the other latch is for this retractable sunshade, so that's a really cool feature. If it's not hot and sunny, you might want to open that up. We're gonna head on down into the cabin area real quick on this SLX 400 and check it out. Coming on down into here. Nice forward little, I'm gonna call it a U-berth. It's not a V, it's a U-shaped rather. That table would obviously fold down. You can fill it in and get yourself a double berth hanging out up there. Behind these guys here, move this pillow just a little bit. There is your switch panel hanging out there. So shore power, your 110, 120 is there. So that's where you control that from. Behind more of these, I'm not going to rearrange their whole pillows. There's storage that flips up behind that, much like that other one. And then I really do like the neutral finish to this. The dark gray wood grain finish there looks cool. Nice little touch. This little vinyl finish there. And then take a look in the head real quick. It is, of course, just it's a wet head, so your shower, toilet, sink, all in one hangout there. Cool little sink. Got this nice window, the full width of the bathroom, so that's cool. I like the little backsplash down there. Up there, just a little medicine cabinet area. That just closes like that. If I step in here, I can actually fit my head. See if I can capture this in the mirror. No. Kind of. There you go. Yeah, it's 6'1". I can stand up about ½ inch, but it's tight, but it's there. So that's cool that I can fit without having to sit down and shower in this boat. If we look to this side, there is a little galley area, if you will, microwave, and then this opens up, little fridge freezer hanging out there. So that's pretty cool. And we'll close the bathroom door behind us. My camera's gonna do funky things real quick. So, we'll get the camera flipped back around here. Apologies for that. And here is the little cabin area on this. It's got this glossy gray. It looks more orange in the video, but that is, I assure you, that's more of a neutral gray that matches like the gray wood grain finish. This is a very, very large. I'd say this is like a king-size bed, this berth under here. And there is a TV hiding there if you want, curtain for privacy there. So you can properly sleep 4 people on this boat. I guess this guy, storage, and the same could be said further down. So we are gonna head on up and we're gonna wrap up this SLX 400. I'm curious what's hanging out here under the floor now. Just looks like some storage. Cool. They are using all the space on these Sea Grays. Like to see that. So we're gonna sneak our way back up onto the cockpit area and find a spot to wrap this all up. So I think we're gonna come do one of these numbers actually. We're gonna turn this guy, do it this way, and I'm gonna sit down on this sun pad and we're gonna finish up the video. So there you go. You can see, I just love the view that gives you right there. Fantastic looking out onto the water like that with that swim terrace. All right, so that was the Sea Ray SLX 400 here. Similar to other years, few minor changes. The big change was the Mercury Verado 600s. Saves fuel, you can still go fast. I believe you still top out at about, let's see, I think they told me mid-50s with those guys, so you can cruise 30s all day long and get really good fuel efficiency that way. So that's the main upgrade on this boat. Otherwise, pretty similar to past years, but all around great day boat with the option to be used as like an overnight or weekend cruiser as well. Great for entertaining, all the space you could ever want, and then the Seakeeper option is just icing on the cake if you ask me. So gotta love how stable it is, people walking around and everything, and the boat just hangs out, doesn't do anything. And then just, yeah, I think they really use the space well on this boat. And I'd highly recommend checking out this Sea Ray if this is the size of boat you're looking for. But I'm not a salesman. I just like doing this for fun and showing these things off to you guys. So that's it for me. Thanks for watching.